Hey everybody, new project made it home, 59 Ford Wagon. So let's take a walk around this thing. We're not really going to do anything to it right now, but I just want to kind of take a little more in-depth walk around it, take a look at it, toss some ideas around, and see what kind of junk we bought this time.
No, you're not bringing home another piece of junk.
All right, so we just got it delivered a few minutes ago. The guy brought this up, and I want to do a little plug for him. If you're anywhere near Kennett, Missouri, which is way down in the Boot Hill, there's a guy, Eddie Eubanks, got Eddie Eubanks Auto Sales, and he's got a bunch of classic stuff down there and very, very good prices. Great guy to deal with. So if you're looking for your next project, he's kind of a Ford guy, got a lot of Ford stuff down there and some cool stuff. So yeah, check that out. Eddie Eubanks Auto Sales, Kennett, Missouri. He gave me a righteous deal on this and delivery, so can't beat it. So anyway, let's just kind of start at the front on this thing. I went ahead and took the hood off and put it up on top. So we do got some little bit of hood rust repair to do, and we may do that, or we may find another hood. Now, the overall plan for this is I am not going to do a full restoration paint job on this thing. You know, it would take 40 or 50 grand to do something like that, but it's in pretty solid condition. Frame's good and solid, so we are going to get it running and driving, maybe with that motor, maybe with something else. Probably do a Comet wash on it, and put some kind of one of the many types of shine juice out there on them. It does need a windshield. Any structural rust that the rust is rusted through the panel, we will go ahead and fix that. So we got a little bit in the rockers to do, and then a little bit up here. This front pan's got a little bit, but 59 Fair, it looks like Fairlane Galaxy, custom sedan wagon, Squire wagon, Ranchero. There's another wagon. There's like 3 different wagons, but they're all pretty much the same. And just looking on Marketplace, there's quite a few of these out there, so I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble getting parts, because I am missing a couple of things. I noticed the heater assembly is gone out of it, and the heater control is out of it. The windshield I can buy new, and it's not too bad. It's like 3.5, so that's cool. I really like this air cleaner until I looked at the bottom of it, and it's like, all right, that's trash. So anyway, so I think we've got the old 352 FE. I believe that's what this is. Haven't done anything yet. Let's see if it's got any oil in it. Ugh. Is that oil or is that water? That's a mixture of both. That doesn't look too promising. It's not over full though, it's just full. It is very, very rusty, the motor. See if the carb moves. Ugh, carb does not move. Water pump, hey, water pump moves. I would venture to say that coil probably doesn't work. But as far as rust up here, well, we got this battery tray, obviously, but like inner fender wells all look solid, firewall looks solid, surface rust back there. It's the old vacuum wipers. I don't know if them work or not. The forward tilt hood hinge assembly is here, so we can probably lube that up and get that working. The frame is really solid on this thing, and just looking under it all the way back, I don't see any frame issues. So what I've done on quite a few of these old cars before I start doing my channel is I would just kind of do like a firewall forward strip down and restoration. And what I mean is pull the front clip off, pull the whole suspension apart, all the bushings and Anything loose, tie rod ends, you know, replace all that stuff. You know, paint the suspension from the firewall forward, clean up firewall, paint it, paint the inner wheel wells and make that look nice. Just kind of when you open the hood that you got something nice looking. So we're probably going to end up going that route with this. And I'm sure we'll do brakes all the way around it. Let me grab a, is that 15 16ths or 7/8? Let me grab, I think I got one over here. See if that fits. Let's just take a look and see if this thing will turn. Get that in there without shutting that camera off, yeah. I think the chances are this thing is going to turn. Must snatch the radiator, obviously. Oh, nope. Whew, that may be lightheaded. All right, so that does not turn. I think what we'll do next time we do video on this, maybe we'll go ahead and pull valve covers, just see what the inside of the valve train looks like. Maybe we'll put some plugs and pull the plugs, put some juice down it, and see if we can get it to turn. I don't want to sink a bunch of money into a full-blown machine shop rebuild of this motor. If we can get it to turn and run and it doesn't knock and it's got decent oil pressure and it doesn't smoke like a dog, maybe just a quick ring gasket, if that's, we'll fix it. And it's got the old Ford Omatic 2-speed, really a 3-speed, but kind of like a 2-speed that you normally use. And then the low, 1 is an extra low gear, so it'd be nice if that works. I think it would be cool to have the original drivetrain in it. I'm sure we're gonna have to go over brakes. Looks like we had a spotlight here. Maybe we'll find one of those. So like, this thing was blue. Bottoms of the doors feel good. It's got the plates on it. This all looks good. So just some rocker rust here, not too bad. Floorboards are nasty. I did check into floorboards for this, and you can buy individual floorboards for a Fairlane / Galaxy, but boy, they are expensive. So I think we're just going to do flat metal floorboards rather than buying the factory stuff. They want like $350 a pair for the front and for the back, so $700 worth of floorboards versus $100 for a sheet of 18 gauge. So I think we'll do that. Yeah, this thing was blue. So problem, I'm gonna try my hand at re-sewing an interior and just kind of sew it up like it was. We got here piece of chrome for something, piece of glass for 73 Monte Carlo back window. I wonder if you knew that was in here. And a side window. All right, well, we'll sell that. Headliner bows are in there. And there's no rust through on the top, so that's good. So we are going to treat all that with something. And we'll fix some floorboards. What's this door look like on the bottom? Feels good. Yeah, got a little bit there. Not too bad. That's yeah, got some rust there. That's fixable. But quarters are good and solid. The gas tank is disintegrating. I need a I don't know if I need a side glass or maybe we'll just leave that. I kind of like the looks of that. Back here, rear bumper is really toast. Might be nice if we can find another one. Had a hitch on it for something. And we need one taillight assembly. It looks like I got whammied here. So we're gonna try to fix that. And got some gouges in here. We're gonna weld them up. Maybe we can knock that out from the inside. I think this opens, yeah. I don't think this has the third seat. It might. I think on this one the third seat faces forward like the other seat, so it may be under there. There's a hinge there. We'll have to pull that up and see. That won't stay up. We get stainless one. Let's find out. Does it have third row seating? I just don't know, but I want to know, so let's find out. Can you see in there? I don't know if you can see in there with that glass in the way. Maybe you can see in here. Can't really see in there either. So I'm gonna go down a little bit. We'll open the other side and we'll see. I don't think it does. It's got screws holding this panel down, so no third row on this one. That's cool. It'll just be the utility wagon. All right. Like I said on the last video, top is good. I think there was one little spot I saw up here somewhere. Oh, right there. It's got a crack. So we'll have to treat that. I want to get all that treated for, oh, I got aunts and uncles. So like I said, windshield's available. Let's see what's under this. This quarter is also good. Not terrible. Those door panels look pretty easy to remake. Oops. Got the old bungee latch. This door is rusty there. Feels good underneath. Yeah. Have to definitely suck out the insides of these doors. We're gonna be POR 15. This thing, pretty heavy duty. Ooh, this had the rubber mat and not the carpet. Man, I wish I could find that, but I don't think you can buy that anymore. One sill plate rotted out. The other three are good. So in here, what do we got? That's a clock delete radio there, and the heater control is gone. I'll have to find one of those. Shouldn't be with the heater box. Oh, here's a ashtray. He said he bought this on an online auction a couple years ago and meant to do something with it and just didn't. So it came from Arkansas, not sure where. It could have been a salvage yard, you know. But the seat springs are all good. They don't look collapsed. So I think just sewing up new covers and, you know, painting them, sew up new covers and add padding, I think we'll be all right. If the do something with the insides of these. Okay. I'll show you that gas tank if I can get under there. They do make a repop gas tank for this thing, which is cool. And it's a really weird shape, so that's good. Here's the remainder of the gas tank. But the frame rails are all good and solid. I don't see any rust out on the frame rails anywhere. I believe that's a 9-inch. Drive shaft is in there. What we got up under here? Transmission is in there. Like I said, all these frame rails look good, along with the mounting points that come off of them. Here's your e-brake. A little bit of filler skim right there. See that? Not much. Looks like that was just one little repair spot at one time. Let's take a look inside. On this side. Well, that looks comfortable. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, so you got park, reverse, neutral, drive 2, drive 1, and low. Fuel gauge, temperature gauge. No other gauges. Idiot lights. Hey, we got a key. It just spins around, doesn't do anything. I'm sure we're gonna have to rewire this thing. Air conditioning pole. That's probably a vent. This was probably, that was probably the wiper switch. Kind of sort of got a little bit of, well, this had a, didn't have a cloth headliner. It had like a cardboard headliner. Wonder who's up in there. All right. Well, it's definitely workable, something good to start with. Make a neat project. Got some rust repair to do, some de-rusting and cleanup. Ow! That hurt. Stupid thing poked me. Yeah, we can make those door panels. Oh, we got armrest, 4 armrests, and none of them are torn. That's a good deal. That kind of works. Does not have the little crank for the window. These are just, you undo them and pull them, so that's cool. All right, well, that's where we're starting. Like I said, I am not gonna do anything on this right away. I've been working on the truck. We'll do a video on that. I really want to bear down on that and get it. It's really not far from getting that thing on the road, honestly. So probably not going to dig into this until I get more done on that. May pull these plugs and drain the soil and put some juice down in there and pull the valve covers and see if we can get the thing at least starting to get it soaking to where maybe see if it'll turn or not. So, but I don't know. It looks rough. I have my doubts. I absolutely have my doubts. But you know, FE motors are plentiful. I could probably find another 352, 360, 390. So that's something I want to ask you Ford folks out there. So this is a 59 FE motor. I think this is the first year for the FE. Everything I look up on the FE for parts says like 63 on up. So is the earlier FE different internally, externally, or is it basically the same motor? So put that down in the comments if you happen to know that. All right, enough time looking at this. I'm going to get back on this word from the Lord before we close this out, and we'll catch you on the next one. Well, you know, I had to try it before I went in the house, so I just went in and pulled a couple of plugs, and I think we can, and a valve cover, and I think we can safely assume this engine is not going to run. So I'm not even going to bother trying to soak it down and break it loose. It's junk. And I also noticed, obviously it got a bunch of water in it. No dipstick in the dipstick tube, so I'm kind of wondering, is the trans in about the same condition? I guess we can see if we can drain some fluid out of it and see, but I got a sneaking suspicion that this is a no bueno, and the easiest thing you should do is just look for another drivetrain. So that's probably what we're gonna do. Just pull it out and scrap it. But hey, that's cool. I'd rather figure it out now than invest a bunch of time into it and figure out that it wasn't gonna happen. So okay, so that's the route we will go, and we'll call this call this the 15-minute will it start, and the answer is not a chance. So now we'll go inside and get a word from the Lord, and that'll be it for this one. Good morning, everybody. So doing my message the next morning, so it's exciting to have a new project going, and I'm going to try not to get sidetracked and dig into this thing too deep before we get the truck rolling. So and the camper is, I'm pretty much calling it there. We're taking it out next weekend, so we'll see if it comes home on its own or comes home on a tow truck. So but anyway, I appreciate everybody following along on this one, and like I said, I think it's going to be fun. That old engine, I'm afraid, is a goner. So I got some ideas to do something different and cool with that thing. So we'll see how that plays out. Going to be a little while before I pick up a motor. Darren, are you out there? Maybe we'll put a small block Chevy in it for you, buddy. How about that? I know he'll like that. No, we're not going to do that. So anyway, message for today. I was doing my Bible study this morning, and there's a section in here. It says, how should a Christian understand the role of government? And being we are in an election season and things are getting pretty heated and kind of crazy out there, I thought this is a good thing to touch on. So we'll just read a few excerpts out of here that I thought were pretty important. It says, no area of cultural engagement is more important than government and politics. We are commanded to submit to governing authorities. Jesus himself said, give then to Caesar the things that are Caesar's. That means Christians, we need to be good citizens, we need to pay taxes, we need to obey laws, and we need to serve as we're called in government. Augustine argued that Christians are not only be good citizens, we should be the best citizens, and I think that's a great point. What others do only because the law demands, we should do out of the love of God. Because government is ordained by God to preserve order and do justice, we are instructed to honor the king, pray for those in authority that we might live peaceful lives. That's a tough thing to do if the party that you don't agree with right now is in power, that we should still pray for them. And and pray that they make godly decisions, and pray for peace. The only thing worse than bad government is anarchy. The authorities are established by God, Paul said. Hence, John Calvin, according to the magistrate's office, as having one of the most important roles in society. Accorded the magistrate's office as having one of the most important roles in society, working as a servant for good. It's a noble calling for Christians to enter public service. Contrary to common caricatures of politicians, some of the finest public servants we know are serious believers who live out their faith in office without compromising their convictions. And that's the thing we deal with in this country. We hear all the time. It's like, well, there's supposed to be a separation of church and state. Well, there is. We're not supposed to make an official religion of the United States, but we want to have the free exercise of religion. And there was another quote down in here that I thought was really good. Where's it at? Basically said, here, the public square, okay, even though in America we observe a strict separation of church and state, the state should not establish a state church or restrict the free exercise of religion. There should never be a separation of religion and public life. We should be able to carry our religious values into the public life as we serve. Public square needs religious influence. Indeed, the Christian faith has played a critical role in shaping our institutions. Reformation doctrines such as sphere sovereignty, which is the government doesn't rule alone, all structures, the family, the church, private associations have ordained responsibilities, and the rule of law made Western liberal democracy possible. Well, our founding fathers respected the laws of nature and nature's God, recognizing without a moral conscience resting upon Judeo-Christian tradition, virtue could not be maintained and self-government would fail. Noted historian Will Durant wrote that he could find no case in history where a nation survived without a moral code, and no case where that moral code was not informed by religious truth. So, great stuff there. You know, we are supposed to be good citizens. We are supposed to pray for our leaders. We are supposed to serve when we're called, and we are supposed to be true to who we are. We are supposed to carry our Christian values with us and let that light shine into our public life. So I just thought that was some great stuff that we probably all need to hear. I know I need to hear. And like I said, this election season coming up, it's going to be crazy. There's a lot of, they pay billions of dollars each side does to slam the other, and we just need to pray for guidance and on what to do when we go to the ballot box. And if we don't get the candidate in there that we want in there, we still need to be good citizens, good public servants, letting our light shine when we're out there in the public square. So I think that's a great message for today. So let's have a word of prayer. We'll end it right there. Father, I just thank you for this country, and I thank you that that you have given us this freedom that we can worship you without the danger without the danger of people trying to stop us. That we have that freedom, and we just ask for obedience for ourselves, that we would conduct ourselves as you would want us to, that we would treat our leaders as you would want us to, that if there's a calling for us to be out in the political life, in the public servant life, that you would help us to be obedient to that call, and that once we do that we would not compromise our beliefs. And we pray for our leaders today, for our president, our vice president, all our federal leaders, all our local leaders, all our state leaders, that you would just touch their hearts and their minds, and that you would be their guiding light. And we ask this in the name of your precious Son, Jesus. Amen. All right. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment. Next video will probably be on the truck. And we appreciate you following along.